Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to today's episode of Lewis Presents. I'm here on Fairlop Road in Leytonstone in the East End of London, and where I'm standing behind is a block of flats here off of Fairlop Road. The plaque I'm standing behind is dedicated to one Fanny Cradock. Fanny Cradock was born here on the 26th of February 1909, and her name was Phyllis Petchy. Her father was Archibald Petchy, who was a novelist but also famed for gambling debts. Her mother was French, Bijou Hancock. Her mother also was pretty extravagant with her spending, so Fanny Cradock was half French, and her father, with his love of gambling debts, always was trying to outrun his creditors. So they moved from here, and moved quite frequently. They moved to Herne Bay in Kent, they moved to Swanage, to Bournemouth, and eventually the family settled in Wroxham in Norfolk. But in 1930, her father's gambling debts finally caught up with him. He was declared bankrupt with debts of over £3,500. Fanny Cradock then moved to London, and by the time of the 1940 came along, she was living in near destitution and with 3 failed marriages under her belt. In 1942, things began to change for Fanny Cradock. She met her lifelong partner, Johnny Cradock. He had been a major in the Royal Artillery. Fanny Cradock then started working in restaurants and worked in one where she came into contact with a French chef, Auguste Escoffier, and he introduced her to French and international cuisine. He even taught her about pizza. Fanny Cradock, in 1950, with her husband Johnny, started to write an article for the Daily Telegraph called Bon Voyeur. And then in 1956, she appeared on the TV programme called Bon Voyeur, aired by the BBC. Her and her husband Johnny were going to become household celebrities as the TV celebrity chef for the next 20 years. She appeared on such programmes as Fanny Cradock Invites, Fanny Cradock Cooks for Christmas, but sadly her fame was all going to come crashing to an end. In 1976, she was a guest on a TV show done by Esther Ransom called The Big Time. A woman called Gwen Traioke had won a competition to cook a banquet for Earl Mountbatten. Esther Ransom brought Fanny Cradock along to advise the woman on the 3 dishes she was cooking. Fanny Cradock basically humiliated the woman, rubbished her and reduced her to nothing. For this, Fanny Cradock faced the wrath of the British Fury. 2 weeks later, the BBC cancelled her contract and she was never to appear on a cookery programme on the BBC again. But in later years, her and her husband Johnny appeared on Blankety Blank, The Generation Game. She appeared on Wogan and The Parkinson Show. Her last TV appearance came in 1987 on a show called The Last Resort, hosted by Jonathan Ross. Sadly, her husband Johnny passed away in 1987, and then Fanny Cradock on the 26th of December 1994 suffered a stroke, and she passed away in a nursing home in Hilsham in Sussex. But this is where it all began. Although Fanny Cradock made many wonderful dishes, the best dish of all started here in Fairlop Road, Leytonstone. Fanny Cradock was made in Leytonstone. Thanks for watching.